Good day, folks. Good day. Good day. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing great. Out in nature, grounding as usual. It's a little bit breezy today, so you may hear a lot of whistling in the background. But anyhow, today's message is on breaking a toxic narcissistic cycle. All right, you may be someone who is stuck in a never-ending cycle of attracting toxic, abusive, narcissistic people into your life. If you fall into this category, then this message is for you. Okay? Again, if you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of attracting toxic, narcissistic people, then this message is for you. We're going to go over why this is happening, and we're going to go over some steps you could take to eliminate this or to stop this completely and forever. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Enough blabbing. Now, you are attracting these types of individuals, or this energy, I should say, right? As we know, everything is energy. So you are attracting this negative energy into your system or into your life because you hold the blueprint for that negative energy. All right, and that negative energy recognizes you, and so you attract it into your life. All right, so that's the simple answer. Now let's go on and break it down. All right, this is happening to you guys as a form of trauma response. Okay, as a form of trauma response. You are attracting these individuals into your life to fill a void, so to speak. Okay, you may be dealing with abandonment issues. You may be dealing with fear of failure. You may be dealing with codependency, victim mentality, lack mentality, neediness. Okay, so you may be dealing with one or two of these issues. Okay, any one of these issues or a combination of them. All right, now there could be more, and you're dealing with this as a form of a trauma response. Okay, as a form of a trauma response to a trauma that you experienced maybe in your childhood, or maybe a long time ago in your earlier years. Okay, and so let's go into the reasons why. All right, now you could be attracting this type of energy in the form of friendships, in the form of co-worker relationships, in the form of romantic partners, in the form of family relations. It could be in any form. All right, but the bottom line is that you hold a blueprint for that energy, and it recognizes you, and so you attract it into your life. All right, so now let's go into why. All right, let's talk about why you're attracting this type of energy, and then we'll talk about how you'll be able to break out of it. All right, so the number one reason, guys, why you're attracting this energy is simple, because like I said earlier, you hold the blueprint. All right, and you hold the blueprint because you have not healed from whatever the underlying trauma is, and therefore it's easy for this energy to attract to you. All right, you have not done the healing work. You have not done the inner healing, the inner work on yourself, and so this energy is always going to recognize you, and it's always going to attract to you. Okay, we know everything is energy, so we have to understand how energy works to understand what's really happening in the background. Okay, so that's the number one reason, guys. You have not healed the underlying cause, the underlying trauma, and so you still hold the blueprint. All right, the second part is that we have to understand this from a whole nother angle, right? It goes hand in hand with not being healed. Okay, And we have to understand certain things, especially hardships, come into our lives to teach us lessons or to strengthen us and other things, okay? So another reason why you're attracting this type of energy into your life, guys, is because you have not learned the lessons that's involved, okay? Sometimes it takes you learning whatever lesson that's involved in that particular situation in order for you to move forward, okay? Imagine like a video game where you play one level, you beat that level, and then you move on to the next level. It's similar to that, okay? So some of these cycles will repeat themselves, okay, up until you learn enough to break that cycle. So now that we know why this is happening, guys, let's go into how you'll be able to break out of it, okay? How you'll be able to end this never-ending cycle of attracting this type of energy into your life. All right, I'll have 3 main steps that you will have to take, okay? And then once you've taken these steps, you should be in a much better position. You should know what's really happening to you, and you'll be able to break out of it should you decide to do the work, okay? So the first step is acceptance, guys. And by acceptance, I mean understanding that nobody's coming to save you, essentially, okay? You have to be your own superhero, all right? A lot of us, we fall into that victim mentality, that victim mindset where we're always looking for someone outside. We're always looking to blame someone else and whatnot, all right? Understand that we are all here on our individual journeys. And if you want better, guys, you have to go after it, okay? If you want to change your circumstance, if you want to change your situation, then you have to be willing to put in the work to do so, okay? So that's acceptance, guys. Understanding that nobody's coming to save you, okay? Understand that you are in control, okay? You are in control, and that nobody's coming to save you. You have to be your own superhero, all right? So that's step number 1, acceptance. Understand that nobody's gonna be able to do the work for you. You're gonna have to do your own work, okay? Stop looking for a hero outside of yourself. Stop looking for a savior outside of yourself, all right? You have to get up and stand on your own too and put in the work that's involved if you want to break out of the cycle, all right? So acceptance, guys. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to be your own superhero. Now we go to step number 2, all right? Step number 2 is what? Is to analyze your relationships, okay? Analyze your relationships. So at this step, guys, you're gonna take a step back from everything, okay? It's better if you do this alone. You separate yourself from everyone for a period of time, and you put in this work on yourself, okay? You're gonna step back and you're gonna do a deep analysis of all of your relationships, okay? Whether it's friendships, co-worker relationships, romantic relationships, family dynamic. Guys, you're gonna analyze all your relationships across the board, okay? And the idea here is to get you more information. That's why it's better you do this alone. Take a step back from everything, the everyday hustle and bustle, and spend some alone time and do a deep analysis of all your relationships across the board, okay? Now, during this analysis, guys, you're gonna notice a running pattern, okay? You're gonna notice a running pattern across all your relationships. And by running pattern, I mean a trauma-based response across all your relationships, whether it's abandonment, whether it's fear of failure, whether it's neediness, whether it's codependency, whether it's fear of failure, whether it's victim mentality, or whether it's lack mentality, okay? But you're gonna notice a similar pattern across all your relationships, okay? You are essentially trying to fill a void in these relationships, okay? And then from here now you can move on to step number 3, okay? Step number 3 is that you begin the healing work, okay? You begin the healing work, all right? Now you've identified the culprit, so to speak, right? You've analyzed your relationships, you've identified a running pattern, okay? And so this is the cause of this whole never-ending cycle, okay? And so you can zero in on what this pattern is, okay? It could be one or two things or multiple, okay? Now you could zero in and begin taking steps. That's step 3, okay? Begin taking steps to heal what this underlying cause is, right? Whether it's abandonment, whether it's victim mentality, lack mentality, codependency, neediness, whatever the underlying trauma is, guys, you could begin to take steps to heal it, all right? Whether you're doing this through therapy, okay? You could go to professional therapy to help you with that if you need to, all right? Or you could do this through coaching, one-on-one coaching. We got a lot of life coaches out there. Or you could do this with the help of a friend. Or you could do this on your own, all right? Some of us are strong enough to heal on our own, all right? Others are not. But understand, guys, do what you have to do, okay? Do what you have to do, okay? Get the help that you need. And in that healing, okay, in that process of healing, whatever the underlying trauma is, guys, you'll be able to develop some techniques and some tools to help you deal with that, okay? To help you combat that trauma moving forward, okay? In addition, you also learn how to set strong, healthy boundaries, all right? And then after you've healed, guys, I'll be honest with you, most of these relationships will just fall out on their own, okay? Because you will change that blueprint, okay? That blueprint that had been with you all along will no longer be with you once you've healed, okay? It will fall away and it will go with some of these relationships, okay? So after healing now, you could reevaluate these relationships and you're gonna realize that some of these relationships, you were just keeping them there out of a sense of filling a void, so to speak, okay? So once you've healed now, like I said, some of these relationships begin to dissolve on their own, and you will begin to reevaluate your relationships periodically to identify which ones need to go and which ones need to stay, okay? So those are my 3 steps to breaking that cycle, guys, all right? First, you have to understand that you have to do the inner work, okay? If you want better, if you want to break that cycle, you have to do the inner work involved, okay? So step 1 is acceptance, all right? Knowing that nobody is coming to save you and that you have to be your own superhero, okay? That's step 1. Step 2 is analyzing your relationships, okay? To identify what the underlying trauma is, the underlying cause, okay? Once you've identified what this is now, you could go to step 3, which is to zero in and heal that underlying trauma, okay? And once you've done this, you will get rid of that blueprint, and some of these relationships will go with that blueprint as well, okay? And whatever relationships remain, you can reevaluate them periodically to identify which ones need to stay and which ones need to go, okay? So essentially, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope I made it clear enough. So I'm gonna leave it here. Until the next one, guys, peace, love, and more life.